don't know why I'm so excited today. Maybe because this is coffee number, is it 2 or 3, 2.5? I don't know. We're somewhere around there. Great morning, evening, afternoon. Let me know in the chat where you are watching from or what time it is where you're watching from. My name is Dr. Sonia. We talk all things premium courses, whether it's online or face-to-face, how you can start to scale out using your wisdom, your knowledge, your life experiences, package those things into a course or a coaching, luxury coaching and mentorship program and brand. If that interests you, stick around for a while. Okay, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, bell notification, so you know when new episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. I'm gonna make this one straight, quick, and to the point. What's going on Instagram? It's good to see you as well. All right, my high performers specifically, all right, if you are in business, if you're currently an entrepreneur, you're scaling a business or looking to grow a business, or you're just getting started and you are not dipping your toe in the entrepreneurial pool, but you have jumped all the way in and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I scale? How do I get started? How do I move this thing forward? Let's talk about, are you setting the wrong goals and how to set the right goals? A lot of times when I work with high performers, high achievers, okay, they are, when we first get started, they are attached to one method. They're attached to one identity. And we all know when we are attached to any one thing, we start to get comfortable. Okay, so a lot of the high performers, high achievers that I get to work with on a daily basis are attached to this one method, attached to this one identity. And here's how we up level that or overcome that. All right, you have to find goals that are performance based. I know how it is because when I was coming out of corporate, I felt the same way. All right. I was like, I am so tired of somebody else hanging their expectations, their goals for my performance, right? I'm tired of being performance based. And a lot of us as high performers, high achievers, that's kind of how we've been for the majority of our lives, very performance based, okay? And also attached to feedback, if you will. And so I talk a lot on this channel. If you're new here, go check out some of the other episodes. I talk a lot about detaching from both positive and negative reinforcement or feedback. You can accept it, all right, and use it to help you move forward, to help you scale, to help you grow, but you don't have to internalize it. You don't have to necessarily like attach to it, okay, one way or another, because when you do that, it kind of shades your lenses. It changes your focus. And so detach from positive and negative feedback. If you are returning, welcome back. Okay, you already know the deal. Detach. However, for yourself, you need to set performance-based goals and outcomes. Your goals cannot be solely based on process and learning. All right. When that is happening, we attach or we kind of fall into this identity. All right, we fall into this one method and we just continue learning. We continue doing the processes that have been working, and that's where we stay stagnant. It's time for you to grow. And so in order to do that, you have to determine your goals. You have to determine what result do you want, what outcome do you want. It's kind of like for online courses. Pro tip, by the way, one outcome or one result per course. I always say you are responsible for your course outcomes. You are not responsible for student results because you cannot guarantee the work ethic of anyone. Okay, so let's put that there. However, it is your responsibility. Hello, D Nice, it's good to see you on. Thank you, I appreciate that. It is your responsibility, however, to determine what the outcome of the course is going to be so that you can measure it. It's the same thing with your goals. If you're just learning, or processing, but you don't have a measurement of have I achieved this goal, think about it like this. When you haven't achieved something, it's hard for you to identify with the next level of you who has achieved it. You get what I'm saying? So until you start achieving goals, like learning how to tie a shoe, you're like, okay, I'm a shoe tire, right? I know how to tie my shoes now. What's up, King Bacon? Oh my God, I'm hungry, okay? And bacon is one of my favorites. So hello, I appreciate that this morning. Maybe I'll have some today. But it's like, okay, now I'm a shoe tire, right? Or I went to kindergarten or pre-K and now I'm graduated into kindergarten and first grade and I'm continuing to level up. These are outcome-driven, results-driven goals. Now, I'm not saying that we need to conform to societal expectations and standards. This is why it's so important for you to set your own goals, your own measurements. You have to start quantifying your results. All right, how am I going to get there? This is going to help you up level your process, your method, as well as your identity. All right, so this is what we need to do. When you care about the results, you find the best process, you find the best method of getting there. But first you have to set the goal. And as always, set goals that are bigger than what you think is possible. Your ceiling needs to become your floor. All right. So the hard truth is, if you're justifying every single day, and this used to be me, every single day justifying why I need to do this process, why I have this goal, and a lot of the goals and processes were competing. Like one of my goals was, okay, I want to get to $100,000 a month. But then I had all of these other things that I was working on, right? Like I have these ebooks that I'm selling. I have not to this day, but back then when I was trying to grow to 6 figures a month, I'm like, I have these ebooks, I have these different classes, these courses, I have these things that I'm doing, and it was just too much. And I kept justifying why I needed to do those things, but they were actually conflicting goals. And so the hard truth is, when that happens, when your goals are conflicting and you start finding yourself justifying why you need to hold on to stuff that you know isn't really moving you forward, you're operating below the floor, as Dr. Benjamin Hardy would say, okay, in one of his books. You're operating below your floor. So what he means by that is you're operating below your capacity. You're operating below the level at which you know you've already grown to. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so I'm operating below. If I'm offering a $7 ebook, right, a $97 thing over here, a $297 thing over here. This is why I advocate for premium courses, because you as a high performer, your knowledge, your wisdom is beyond that, if you will. Now, when people say humble, it doesn't mean lower than anybody. It just means that you understand, okay, you value who it is that you are and what you bring to the table. Your gifts, your talents, all of those things. Not that you are better than anyone, all right? Let's put that out there. But your gifts, your talents, your everything that you are, everything that you encompass, you can put that into a space that is qualifiable as well as quantifiable for the people you're meant to serve. Okay, so you don't have to serve everyone with your gifts and talents. Like, who you are is who you are, and you package that up for a specific audience. All right, and that's just it. I'm gonna put that here real quick. You're not for everybody. You ain't gotta be. All right, you ain't gotta be. I appreciate the new sub in the building. Thank you, King Bacon. King Bacon. Oh my God. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Probably don't need any more, but here we are. Killer 14 Gaming, hello, great morning. I appreciate the new sub, King Bacon. I appreciate all the new subs. I also appreciate the likes that I see flowing through here. And if you spend 30 seconds here or 3 minutes, know that I appreciate you spending some time. Go ahead and hit that subscription button, the like button, and bell notifications so you know when new episodes like this roll out. So I needed to put this here. It's a little bit of an abstract concept. If you're new here, I like to talk about things that a lot of people aren't talking about, and things that we try to quantify or we try to say, but it's hard for us to say some of those abstract thoughts that we all have, the abstract ideas, all those things. And so that's what I'm about on this channel, and also building positive community. So I appreciate you guys coming on in, all right, and being positive and building community. Killer 14 Gaming, welcome to the Jump First Academy community as well. Thank you for the new sub and the like. I appreciate that. So I'm going to recap really quickly. Of course, I got my whiteboard with my notes on it. I was taking some notes this morning as this was kind of coming to me. If you're attached to one method, if you're attached to one identity, then that means that you have to quantify your goals. You have to, all right? And I know sometimes we like to keep them very qualifiable, if you will. We like to keep them very broad so that we can reach them and we feel good when we reach them. But I need you to start quantifying, being very specific about the result that you want, about the outcome that you want. And then from there, you'll find the best process that is going to help you achieve that thing. And what I also find when I quantify my goals is that not only do I get more specific about the process, but it also, those goals happen faster, because now the best process has kind of revealed itself to me. I'm like, oh, there it is right there in my face the whole time. When I got rid of all the distractions, when I got rid of $7 ebooks, and we're going through that in full transparency, we're going through that process again, right? Where I have some workshops and I have some sessions that were available at they were premium, $500, $400. But some of those things just aren't necessary for this next level. And so I'm really, really excited to delve more into how that all is going to work very shortly. So stay tuned, okay? Because we're coming out with some amazing things that are really going to help push my high performers forward. That's the whole name of the game. So again, when you get rid of distractions, you'll realize that the path was there all along, as they say. Good morning, great morning, Sheila. It's good to see you over on IG. I love the energy. Thank you so much. I hope you're having an amazing morning. And so the path just kind of reveals itself. And so for my high performers, I'm challenging you to go all in, quantify what it is that you actually want, what result do you want. The best method for getting there, the best process for getting there will reveal itself. And it will also in the process up level your identity, like who you are. You have to become someone different in order to achieve the next level. Now, the other thing I really want to put here and highlight once again is conflicting goals, complex, conflicting priorities, all of those things. It really means, number one, that's not going to scale. Okay, you cannot scale that. If you have competing goals all the time, you cannot scale any process. So even if you find the right process, right, and it reveals itself to you, you're not going to be able to scale it until you get rid of all the competing goals. If you have competing goals, I talk about this too in regards to like your physical space. I just did a presentation for a mental health like crises workers. Or listeners as they're called, and we were talking about physical space, and I was talking about how sometimes when your mental is so cluttered, you will find that your physical is cluttered as well. So when you have competing goals, conflicting information, and you start justifying like, oh no, I need this goal, or I need to do this process, or I have to do this thing because it's who I've been, it's what's been going on. Okay, all of those things. That's okay, Eric. As long as I'm helping somebody, okay, I'm okay with that. And if this is not your tribe, all right, then go find it. I appreciate you and I'm sending you much love. And so when you start to justify those competing goals, when you start to justify why you're holding on to certain things, it's because you're still operating at that identity, that level, right? And then with that being the case, that means you're operating below where you have currently grown to. So it's time to up level. It's time to do something different. It's time to change the identity. And the first thing in doing that is going all in, understanding what your goal is, quantifying that goal into the form of a result. What result do you want to achieve? What's the outcome? Allowing the process to reveal itself to you, the method that you're going to use to get there, and letting go of the dead weight, letting go of the things that are currently holding you back. We don't want to scale in the wrong direction. We want the right goals. Okay, so I want you to scale in the right direction. What's the right goal for you? And then who do you need to be in order to achieve that goal? Quantify your goals. So important. Yes, Sheila, that's right. Set focus goals. Okay, I appreciate the hearts as well. I'm sending you some love back on this morning. I appreciate y'all so much. If you are watching this on the Jump First Academy YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, like button, and bell notification. Welcome to all of my new subs. I really appreciate y'all coming on in. Keller14 Gaming, Kim Bacon. I see y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I also see the likes up there. Thank you so much for continuing to help spread this message. Thank you for the hearts as well. I'm sending you my millennial heart back also. And if you're interested in, thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. It says you are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And if you're interested in packaging your courses, like I can't stop doing this. If you're interested in packaging your courses, learning more about that, and going deeper into these abstract concepts that I like to cover, but you want to like implement and move your goals forward, okay? Or set bigger goals. Wherever you are in the process, I promise you the resources over at jumpfirstacademy.org are going to help you get started and continue moving forward, okay? So again, jumpfirstacademy.org, free training, less than 30 minutes. I don't like the fluff, all right? I like to get straight to it. And then there are free resources that go with that training that help you implement, as well as paid resources. It's completely up to you which pathway you choose to your success. Know that I love you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Again, no matter how much time you spent here, I am very appreciative to have this platform, okay? And I love y'all. Great job. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. Thank you again to all the new subs. And thank you for watching this. If you're watching the replay, drop it in the comments. Let us know where you're currently watching from or what time it is where you're watching from. And send some love to all the folks who are going to watch this going forward. I appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all back here tomorrow. Thank you, Sheila. You go and be great as well. I appreciate y'all so much.